Hey everyone, Steve here, and today we're taking a look at the finished master grade Nemo. So to get started, I did plan to weather this kit, but I put a lot of effort into making such a clean paint job that I decided that I really didn't want to weather it up and all that stuff. I just really liked how it turned out, so I decided not to pursue weathering it. And honestly, I'm not 100% confident in my abilities of weathering it the way I was planning to. So with all that, I decided just to leave it as is. Pretty happy with the way it turned out anyways. And I didn't keep up with the what work in progress is either, but I'll kind of cover that in this video. So what I did on this guy, so I pre-shaded it, and I did that using a new technique. Actually, I'm going to back up a second. First, I polished my primer, or sanded my primer, to a very, very smooth finish, and that's kind of what gives me this absolutely smooth, perfect paint job, basically. And I did that by wet sanding, and I'm going to show you a clip of me doing that. Then what I did was I pre-shaded it, but this time I did something different, and I didn't take pretty much any care with trying to get my pre-shading perfectly. Normally what I do is I just very carefully and try to do hairline passes with my airbrush over the edges and stuff to pre-shade it. But this time I came up with something different, and what I did was I actually sanded off anywhere where I didn't want the pre-shading to be, and I was just much more liberal with my pre-shading and just did it really quickly. Then just came back and cleaned up all the lines so that they were perfectly straight and clean with the polishing blocks, and I'm going to show you a clip of me doing that. And it was quite simple, just some warm water and the polishing block as you saw in the clip. And yeah, I just then painted it, and then I did some highlighting. Basically, I just used the same color I painted with, but I mixed it with about 60 to 70% white, I believe. somewhere in that range, so it's quite a bit lighter, and I just very subtly did some very light passes on some of the areas that would be exposed to a lot of direct light, just to lighten those up. And yeah, the result is a very subtle pre-shading and highlighting that looks really good in person. It doesn't show up very well in photos, or most likely it's not even visible on the camera. You can see I changed up a few colors, like all these parts used to be red. I made those all alclad geranium. The hands are normally all connected, like the bottom 3 fingers, these guys. And what I did was just cut those. I think you're unofficially supposed to do that, but it's so easy to lose the fingers if you do that Bandai doesn't do that. Like, they don't include separated fingers in the kit. I did all the pistons and stuff in alclads as well. I did paint some of the inner frame details, but it's nothing too spectacular, so it's not really worth showing. Some details do show through, like these little hoses and that little circle thing on the knee joint. Some details down here. I also painted some details on the bottom of the feet. For the pistons, I ended up drilling those out about 3 or 4 sizes larger than they were, so that the pistons could freely move in there without scratching the paint. I didn't remove any seam lines actually on this kit, which is kind of weird for me. I typically always try to remove as many seam lines as I can, but the seam lines are not that bad on this kit, so I decided just not to bother. It'd be a whole lot easier to paint it without doing all that masking and cementing and stuff, so I went with that option. The weapon was painted in RLM gray, I believe. I actually didn't do any panel lining on this kit, even though there are some lines they look like they're panel lined. What I had done was, when I was pre-shading, I just made a conscious effort to get those panel lines with the pre-shaded color, and then I just sanded off all the paint around it, so it just left the paint inside the panel line. And what that did was, when I painted it, you could still see the paint inside the panel line on most spots. There are a few spots that it got washed out a bit, like in the shield and stuff, but for the most part it worked very well. It looks very natural. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to leave you guys with a few photos, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Bye.